What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Spark School.
Hey!
Look who's here again. It's my J-Girl. This is Janelle McMiller, the Director of Operations for Spark Personal Growth Experiences for Women.
Happy to be here.
I'm so happy you're here again. Look, I get to rub elbows with your shoulders. All right, guys, so we have now gone over all of the foundational lessons, all of the modules that are going to set you up for really experiencing life in a brand new way. At this point, you probably are starting to see the magic of creation that you are able to experience in life. I mean, We've talked about meditation, we've talked about law of attraction, visualization, so many things.
Fundamentals.
Yes. Now, if you haven't noticed already, you're probably going to notice soon. Some things are going to creep up and try to steal away your joy and your fun. These are blocks.
Yeah, we don't like blockage.
We don't like blocks, but you know what? They're there. Why are they there? Because you have however many years of your past, whether you are 30 years old, 40, 50, 60, or 15. Listen, there are belief systems that have gotten you to the point where you're at today, and those belief systems are still there. Even though you can now see the world in this magical new way, you still have a parachute full of concrete blocks that we have got to cut off one by one by one. So from this point forward, we're going to be going over each one of those blocks and how you can dismantle your belief system around it so you can start playing in this new magical world.
Yes.
So exciting. So let's recap where our belief systems come from. First is your environment. Now, this is like the 5 closest people that are around you. And growing up, this is usually your parents, your teachers, caregivers. It's the people that you spend the most time with.
Yeah, your friends.
Yep. The second thing are your experiences. Every time you experience something, it sets all your programming in your brain and you start believing things that you've experienced, whether that's positive or negative. The third thing is your examples. Now, this is people that are outside of your circle of 5, outside of your family. Usually it's the content that you're consuming.
Your books, podcasts, TV, news.
All of those bigger influences that you are looking at the way that they're living their life or experiences that they have, and those actually influence your belief system. And then the fourth thing is what you can envision. And this is where we've been talking about, like where you can create so many new beliefs just from what you're picturing in your mind. So we're going to be going through all 4 of those with each one of these blocks. And today we're going to start with one of the biggest ones, the block, the thought process or the belief system that you do not have enough time.
Wah, wah, wah.
Have you ever felt that way?
I mean, I have. Yeah. I felt that way until I learned and realized that I create my time. Like, time is just an illusion, as we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
And I want to invest my time where I decide to invest it. And so we get to create that. Like everything else, we get to create the time for our needs, our wants, our desires. That's on us.
Oh, absolutely. Now, just like anything that we've been talking about, the first step to really breaking a block is, one, understanding that you just have to be aware of it. So when we're going through this module, your actionable this week is really going to be getting hyper aware of where you're spending your time. And oftentimes, people, we don't realize how much time we waste in a day. And I mean, I know.
Truth bomb.
Oh, I know I get that little reminder from my iPhone on how much time I've spent on my screen. And I'm like,
thank you.
Wow, thank you, iPhone. So we're going to be walking you through ways that you can get very aware of your time, but we also want to dismantle where have you gotten your beliefs around time, like with the environment that you grew up in. What are the words that people always told you about time?
That just stuck with you.
Yeah, you don't have enough time for this. I don't have enough time for you. Your environment, your experiences, your examples, and what you've envisioned. So many people, they don't realize the power of their words. I know for me, I didn't realize that I was saying consistently, I don't have time. I don't have time for that. When I wanted to write a book, I don't have time for that. When I wanted to really step into a side hustle of growing a new business, I don't have time to really devote to that. Well, let me tell you this, sister, you do not have time to not have time.
No.
You really, really need to take heed of this module because one of the best things that you can do, and we've talked about this a little bit if you've been in the Spark world for a while, about the power of a morning routine and how sacred your morning time is. I know for me, whenever I have a big goal that I'm going after, I wake up really, really early. I'm talking crazy early, 3 a.m.
Like the birds are still asleep.
Yeah, this is very true. Very true. And the reason why I do that is because I know that if I'm going to have a busy day, I have to carve out the time for my goals.
To invest into yourself.
Absolutely. Now, there's different ways that you can create a sacred, special time for yourself in the morning. I really, really believe that if you don't be very intentional with what you want your day to look like, your day is going to completely control you. How many times have you gotten out of bed and all of a sudden, like, started thinking about all the things that you have to do and all of the tasks, and you start immediately getting overwhelmed.
I feel like you're catching up at that point.
Yeah, and I mean, and you'll never fully get caught up because you did not stop and actually think about how you want your day to unfold.
Yeah.
So what does your morning routine look like?
So my morning routine, every single day that I wake up, I start with gratitude. So before I even get out of bed, I'm thinking about all the things that I'm grateful for, from like the big things to the very little tiny things, like the electricity that I have, my lungs, my heart, my soul, my children, the people in my life that light me up. I think about all of it and I give out all of that gratitude because that's letting the universe know right away that I want all of that gratitude to come back.
Yes.
So I want to have, yes.
I want to, as you go through these, I actually want to stop and point out how this loops back to previous modules. Yes. So the fact that you're waking up and the first thing that you're doing is cultivating gratitude, yes. That is raising your vibration. As we talked in, I forget which module it was about the law of attraction. So you're already starting your day off in that high vibration where you're going to be attracting really cool high vibe experiences.
Well, and gratitude and excitement, like those are two very high vibe places to live in. And so when I'm thinking about what I'm grateful for, I've got gratitude, but then also I'm excited because I'm thinking about all of this greatness in my life. And so, of course, it's going to get me a little amped up. And then it's like, yes, let's start the day. But before I do that, I go from that into this like meditation, into visualizing how I want my entire morning to go, how I want the day to unfold into different parts of my life. Like whether it's a meeting or then I get excited about upcoming things. So it's like this big, long process. But basically, I'm telling the universe, this is what I want. This is what I expect. This is what I deserve. And then I can start seeing it all come into fruition. So that's my morning.
So this is completely talking about the module that we created around visualization and the power of visualization. So all of this stuff you guys already know. Now we are just teaching you how to create time to actually implement this stuff. Because what we've heard from a lot of people, like just in the Spark community, is that, yeah, I would love to meditate, but I just don't have time. I would love to visualize, I just don't have time.
Love to work out, I don't have time. Eat breakfast, I don't have time. We use it as an excuse for a lot of different things. And really, you don't have the time to not take time for yourself.
Yeah, if you're here, you probably have some really big personal growth goals. Yes. And if you cannot really take heed and carve out time for yourself, sister, it's not going to happen. So go through the actionable this week, figure out where you're wasting your time, how you can set up a really powerful morning routine, and really go through each 4 sections of your belief system to figure out where these beliefs around time came from and what you really want to believe about time, and start reprogramming that beautiful subconscious mind of yours.
Today.
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 All right. Until next week, ladies, Spark School out.